Aurora, in Roman mythology, was the personification of the dawn, a deity responsible for heralding the arrival of the sun each morning. Her role was to bring light to the world, making her a crucial figure in the cycle of day and night. Aurora's Greek counterpart, Eous, shared many of the same attributes, as the Greeks too saw the dawn as a divine entity. While not one of the most prominent gods in Roman mythology, Aurora's influence was nevertheless deeply embedded in the culture, symbolizing renewal, hope, and the daily promise of a new beginning. Aurora was often depicted as a beautiful woman, driving a chariot across the sky at the break of dawn, with her rosy fingers or golden arms stretching out to part the night and bring forth the light. This image of Aurora rising from the horizon to usher in the sun was symbolic not only of the natural cycle but of the perpetual rebirth of the world. It was said that Aurora's chariot was drawn by horses, usually named Phlegon, Eous, and Lampus, which carried her across the heavens, leaving the darkness of night behind. This chariot ride was one of the most striking aspects of her mythology and served as a vivid representation of the transition between night and day, between the unknown and the known. In the Roman context, Aurora was also linked to several important myths and figures. She was the mother of the winds, a connection that further highlighted her role in the natural world. As the dawn brought with it the winds of the day, Aurora's children included the Boreas, Notus, and Zephyrus, the gods of the north, south, and west winds. These winds played vital roles in both the physical environment and in Roman culture, as they were seen as bringing change, whether in the form of the seasons or the shift in political and military power. Another famous story associated with Aurora involves her tragic love affair with the mortal Tithonus. Tithonus was a beautiful young prince, and Aurora fell deeply in love with him. She begged Jupiter to grant him immortality, which he did, but she forgot to ask for eternal youth. As time passed, Tithonus grew older and older, becoming frail and weak, until he eventually turned into a grasshopper. This story served as a reminder of the dangers of unbridled desire and the balance between love and fate. It also reflected the Roman understanding of the limitations of immortality, a theme explored in many of their myths. While Aurora was often seen as a gentle and nurturing figure, her role was not entirely without conflict. She was also believed to have played a part in the Trojan War, waking the heroes each morning as they prepared for battle. Her presence was integral to the daily rhythm of life, but she was also associated with the passing of time, a reminder that the cycles of life and death were inevitable. Roman poets often invoked Aurora as a symbol of new beginnings, using her as a metaphor for hope and renewal. In Virgil's Aeneid, for example, Aurora's rising was used to signal the beginning of important events, highlighting her connection to fate and destiny. Despite her essential role in the natural world, Aurora was not as widely worshipped as other deities in the Roman pantheon. She had few dedicated temples, and her cult was relatively modest compared to gods like Jupiter, Mars, or Venus. However, she was an important figure in Roman daily life, particularly for those who viewed the rising sun as a symbol of divine order and structure. Many Romans believed that the start of each day was a gift from the gods, and Aurora was a reminder of that sacred, natural cycle. She was invoked at the beginning of military campaigns, harvests, and even personal endeavors, as people sought to align themselves with the auspicious energy that dawn brought. In a broader sense, Aurora symbolized the power of light over darkness, of knowledge over ignorance, and of optimism over despair. Her mythological significance shows that the Romans understood the dawn as not just the physical rise of the sun, but also the moral and spiritual rebirth that it signified. She was, in many ways, a goddess of possibility, a figure who represented the promise of a new day and the potential for growth and change. In conclusion, Roman Aurora was a deity who brought more than just the light of day. She was a symbol of transition, of the passing of time, and of the potential for renewal in every moment. Though her mythology was less complex than that of other major gods, her influence on Roman life was felt deeply. She was a reminder that each day was a new opportunity, and through her, the Romans understood the cyclical nature of life, a constant movement from night to day, from past to future, from ending to beginning. Aurora's story encourages us to embrace the new opportunities that each dawn offers, and to look at each day as a chance for rebirth and growth.